It's that season again, the pollution season in the national capital, and of course the debate over the crackers around Diwali also begins. But the Supreme Court today has given its nod for, ahead of the Diwali for bursting crackers. But specifically, the court has given its green signal for the green crackers. Today, the bench of Chief Justice B.R. Gavai and Justice Vinod Chandran ordered the sale of green crackers, which will be permitted between October 18th to October 20th. And you would be able to burst the crackers only on 20th and 21st October. Now, this is keeping in view of a lot of people, their religious sentiments. But remember, this is happening at a time when the AQI levels are already peaking. Now, what has the Supreme Court order said? Let me very quickly tell you that this order has been welcomed by the Delhi government, the BJP government. While the Aam Aadmi Party government was in power, the BJP was always at the loggerheads because of this. Now, Rekha Gupta has welcomed this, but the Supreme Court has said that the green crackers will be allowed from October 20th. The sale of October 20th to 21st, you can burst the crackers only on 20th October and 21st October, which is the two Diwali days. The court has also, in fact, said the timing will be confined to 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. in the evening and 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning. I wonder who are those people, those who are getting up so early morning to burst crackers while all of us are still trying to sleep. Regular checks on green cracker manufacturers will be done. That's what the court has also said. The court has also said that patrol teams to conduct regular checks as far as the bursting of the crackers are concerned, QR codes of given crackers to be uploaded on the websites, and no crackers will be allowed from outside the NCR region. This order is just not for Delhi, it is for the entire National Capital Territory region. If fake crackers are found, license will be suspended. No supply of firecrackers via e-commerce website is also something that the court has said. Now, if you are wondering, what are the green crackers? What is the difference between your normal Murga bomb or the Lakshmi one that you usually used to get? What is the difference? Let me very quickly tell you. Green crackers are supposedly less polluting variants of the firecrackers, designed to be environmentally safer. At least that's what the whole idea is. They emit about 30 to 35% less pollutants. They don't contain harmful elements like barium nitrate and meet prescribed noise limits as well. So the green Sutli bomb, which used to completely take your eardrums off, that is off limit this Diwali, or have been for the last few Diwalis. But let me very quickly go across at this moment to Vimlendu Jha, because I want to understand, is there anything green about these green crackers? How much sense do they make? Because there is a debate. Vimlendu, thank you for speaking to us. I want to start by asking you, Vimlendu, is it a relief that these green crackers will be used? Or is it saying that if you are dying by 1,000 ml of pollution, we will decrease it by 30%, 700 will come to you, so you possibly have few minutes extra to live?
So, Ankit, yes, I'm very, very disappointed by this Supreme Court's judgment, because imagine a Delhi which is already so polluted, and every year on the night of Diwali we see the AQI levels cross the WHO limits by 20-30 fold in that sense. As in, our air quality monitors are not even able to measure the air quality, and right now the so-called oxymoron crackers called green firecrackers has actually been allowed. 30% less, but the other way to look at it is 70% still polluting. It's almost as if it's poison, but it's not a very, very concentrated poison, but it's 70% concentration of toxins would still remain. But by the way, we need to also understand that all these last few years, when there has been a ban on all form of crackers, despite that ban, we've had all kinds of crackers being burst in Delhi NCR region. And therefore, right now, the main issue of regulation, of governance, of really looking at law enforcement authorities, ensuring that so-called...
Yes, I want to come to that. Hold on to that thought. It's an important thing that you are raising, and I want you to explain this in detail. Who has the responsibility? The court says if you are a manufacturer and if you are selling, which is not green cracker, your license will be suspended. But what if I, as a citizen, if I decide not to burst green cracker, I burst the normal cracker, or I burst the green cracker outside the prescribed limit that the Supreme Court, the time window that it has given? Who is the agency who is going to penalize me, catch hold of me? Where are these details?
That's what has happened, Ankit. Last few years, imagine, the kind of contempt that was actually there. As in, despite Supreme Court putting a blanket ban through the year, and not just for Diwali, despite that ban, people were bursting firecrackers, and Delhi police couldn't really do much. As in, when we say at the end of the day, in this particular order also, Delhi police has been asked to really go and conduct these raids. So law enforcement agencies, pollution control boards, all these agencies. But the unfortunate part is that the Supreme Court thought that respecting sentiments of people perhaps was more important than respecting the right to life, or the lungs, or the call for life, or the asthmatic children that we actually have in our city. So it's a judgment, it's an order which doesn't have any scientific acumen. It tries to so-called balance things in a city which is so polluted already. Do we need, in the name of faith?
On that, Vimlendu, let me ask you this question that I'm sure you get a lot of times. Those who are for crackers, including the government at this moment in the national capital, the Chief Minister is very happy that the court has given this decision. Let me ask you this. People would say that, look, already the pollution levels are high. The GRAP 1 recommendations are already in place. We are over 200 on the AQI. Why do you only blame the crackers then? The pollution is already high.
So Ankit, nobody is blaming only the firecrackers. You and I would have done dozens of shows when we have actually talked about stubble burning, when we talked about public transport, the missing public transport, construction, demolition, dust, and so on and so forth. But we need to understand that this episodic source of pollution, which is Diwali, actually spikes the air way too much. One way to look at it is breathing 200 AQI, which is anyway bad. Cities get shut outside of India when AQI reaches 200. We're talking about 2000 AQI levels, or perhaps more, which is not even measured. So by design, in the name of faith, do you want your children to breathe this toxic air? Fine, it only happens for a day, but a lot of things we need to really understand that needs to be abandoned in the given context, that the baseline is so high already. Yesterday, the air quality index was around 240. Today, as you're showing, it's 211. The winter hasn't arrived as yet. Of course, this pollution will remain for at least 3 months and for 365 days. But we will have to do everything, both episodic sources of pollution and the perennial sources of pollution will have to be addressed. And in that, it's really unfair on our children who don't have a say to give them a pulmonary that makes them asthmatic.
While, on the risk of being trolled absolutely on Twitter, but on X, let me just very quickly say, while your argument could be that the pollution levels are already high, you are making it worse. And that's the problem. You are mixing more toxic air in the already toxic, polluted air of Delhi instead of trying to bring the pollution levels down. It can't be on the zor of a danda. It has to be from all of us from within. Thank you so much, Vimlendu, for joining me at this moment. I want to, like Vimlendu was also pointing out, and this whole argument about what happens, how much pollution, comes into place when it comes to these green crackers, so and so forth, post and pre-Diwali. What is the condition of Delhi? Just take a look at these numbers. In 2022, in Delhi, pre-Diwali, the AQI levels were 259. After Diwali, just the next day, post-Diwali, the levels went up to 302. 2023, 220, and it significantly went up to 358 post-Diwali. Before Diwali in 2024, 307, and after Diwali, it went up to 309. 339, I beg your pardon, which tells you, ladies and gentlemen, that the pollution levels post-Diwali increase, they are real, and crackers play their part as well. There are other ways as well to try and celebrate your festival. Chief Minister of Delhi, Rekha Gupta, is extremely happy with the Supreme Court's decision. Take a look.
रेखा जी, सबसे पहले तो आज जो ग्रीन क्रैकर को लेकर सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ऑर्डर आया है, उसके ऊपर क्या कहेंगे?
मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगी माननीय कोर्ट का कि उन्होंने लाखों भारतीयों के दिल की आवाज़ का सम्मान किया, थोड़े समय के लिए सही, परंतु ग्रीन क्रैकर्स दिल्ली में जलाने की इजाज़त दी। इससे विशेष रूप से हमारे बच्चों को एक सुकून, एक खुशी मिलेगी। दीपावली एक बड़ा त्यौहार है दिल्ली का, देश का और पूरे विश्व का। और ऐसे त्यौहार पे हम ये समझते हैं कि पर्यावरण और परंपराएं दोनों हमें साथ साथ चलाने होंगे।